and I was already completely suffocating emotionally in the relationship. We were equally yoked to each other through the music and the business. However, the personal power dynamic between us was never equal. He convinced me that everything would be better if we were married, that things would be different. But what I really hoped for was that he would be different, that if I gave him this thing he so adamantly wanted, this marriage that I believed he thought would legitimize him or quell chatter about him having an affair with an artist on the label, it would change him. I was never completely sure why he wanted to get married so badly. I prayed that in doing so, he would calm down and loosen his vice grip on my life. More than my personal happiness, I needed my career as an artist to survive. Happiness was secondary. Happiness was a fleeting bonus. I married Tommy because I thought it was the only way for me to survive in that relationship. I saw the power he could put behind my music, and he saw the power my music could give him. I respected Tommy as a partner. If only he had known how to give me the respect I was due as a human being. At the first real wedding I ever attended, I was the bride. Apart from the ambition, Tommy and I were completely different, and the black part of myself caused him confusion. From the moment Tommy signed me, he tried to wash the, quote, urban, translation, black, off of me. And it was no different when it came to the music. Just as he did with my appearance, Tommy smoothed out the songs for Sony, trying to make them more general, more universal, more ambiguous. Once I said yes to the marriage, I thought, hey, we might as well make it an event. Though my bridesmaids included my longtime and trusted friends Josephine and Clarissa, they brought me no comfort. No one could. I was deathly afraid. I hardly remember the ceremony at the majestic St. Thomas Church. I recall my face shaking involuntarily at the altar. But the moment those church doors opened up onto Fifth Avenue, I heard the roar of screams and saw the hordes of fans flooding every inch of sidewalk as far as the eye could see, camera flashes popping like fireworks. I walked down the stairs and smiled at them. To me, the wedding spectacle was mostly for the fans, and we gave them the fabulous moment they deserved. I was exhausted. It had taken so much energy just to plan the thing and then get through it. The night before, I'd had a girls-only sleepover at the Mark Hotel. I was clearly conflicted. My friends knew I didn't even really believe in the institution of marriage, and yet here I was about to put on this major show with a man who was already showing dangerous signs professionally and personally. The stifling hot mess of a relationship that I was already in with him would only become more foul and imbalanced. You don't have to do this, they all said, but I truly believed I had to. I saw no way out. Tommy and I pulled off the wedding. The next day, we flew to Hawaii. I can't, in good conscience, refer to what we did as a honeymoon. It was not sweet. It was not dreamy. I didn't really care that much since my relationship with Tommy was never about romance, but still, it was technically my honeymoon-ish. Thankfully, the house was on the beach, young and with a young boyfriend who's also a star, and you're working and you're both, I don't know what goes on, you know what I mean? So it's like I wasn't really allowed out of the house, so I can't imagine what she went through.
So you've never been abused like that, ever been hit by anyone? Anyone ever abused you?
Abuse has several categories.
You've been emotionally abused?
Emotionally, mentally.
Why is it hard to get out of it?
Well, it's scary. If someone, there's other things and other times in my life and things that I will eventually talk about when I write my book. I just think you get into a situation and you feel locked in. If your situation is similar to one of these situations I've been in, which I won't.
No, you don't have to, but it is hard to get out.
For me, to really get out, it was difficult because there was a connection that was not only a marriage, but a, business thing where the person was in control of my life. Both of us knew we were at the end of the road long before I left. I began leaving in increments, and in response, Tommy started making desperate last-minute attempts to get me to stay. He bought me a gorgeous but pointless carnival red convertible Jaguar, one more expensive thing to add to the lavish scrap heap that was our marriage. One evening, I was working with two men I had a significant creative and professional relationship with, whose duty it was to have mob-like loyalty to Tommy. These three men, to whose wealth and prominence I had contributed considerably, and I were sitting in the kitchen about to have a meal break. I think it embarrassed Tommy that he had lost control and lost his woman in front of his boys. Embarrassment enraged him. He began an awkward and creepy little rant about the beautiful car he had just given me and our fabulous estate, and how, in spite of it all, I wanted to leave him. I was sitting still, looking down at the table when Tommy walked over and picked up the butter knife from the place setting in front of me. He pressed the flat side of it against my right cheek. Every muscle in my face clenched. Tommy held the knife there. His boys watched and didn't say a word. After what seemed like forever, he slowly dragged the thin, cool strip of metal down my burning face. I was searing with rage from the excruciating humiliation of his terrifying, cowardly performance in my kitchen in front of my colleagues. That was his last show with me as the captive audience at Sing Sing. I was locked way in the bathroom, sitting on the edge of the cold tub, trying to muster up the courage to leave completely. Then the words softly came fluttering into my head. Don't be afraid to fly. Spread your wings. Open up the door. And I descended the grand staircase for the last time.
Carrie's marriage is on the rocks. The singer is separating from her husband, Sony Music President Tommy Mottola, on a trial basis. That according to publicists for the pair. They were married in June 1993. Publicists say the couple remain friends and will continue their business relationship. Carrie has recorded most of her biggest hits on the Sony label.
Mariah Carey, after divorcing Tommy, came to me crying. She was crying so badly I had to hold her. And she said to me that this is an evil man. And Michael, this man follows me, she said. He taps her phones. And he's very, very evil, and she doesn't trust him. And he is a horrible human being. And we have to continue our drive until he's terminated.
I will know your mind. Spread your wings and